You already know more about people than you realize, you just haven't learned how to read the signs yet. Every person leaves clues, and Master Yi's 18 truths will show you how to spot them and what they mean. This isn't some superficial skill, it's a game changer no one teaches you. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. This video isn't a quick list or shallow tips, it's a deep dive, broken into 3 powerful parts, each building on the last. Skip one, and you'll miss the depth that makes this work. So stick with me, because by the end, you won't just understand others, you'll see yourself in ways you never expected. From childhood, we're taught to trust words. Words are how we connect, how we navigate the world. But Shi Heng warned us, don't be fooled by what people say. People don't speak from truth, they speak from survival, from ego, from fear. That polished personality you see? It's not them. It's their armor. The person who seems overly kind might be hiding a fear of rejection. The one who acts unbreakable might be crumbling inside, praying no one notices. The trickiest part? Most people don't even know they're doing it. They're actors in a play they didn't write, their smiles, opinions, and tone shaped by what kept them safe. Master Yi once said, every deep soul wears a mask. Not as a judgment, but as a wake-up call. Don't mistake the mask for the person. Here's the secret, people leak their truth constantly, not in words, but in the cracks. The glance they avoid, the laugh that lingers too long, the quick subject change when things hit too close to home. Shi Yi's first truth is this, everyone wears a mask to survive, not because they're fake, but because they're scared. Society demands a version of them that fits, but masks aren't flawless, they slip. The first clue to the real person is tension. Watch for what makes someone uneasy, that's where their truth begins. Truth 2, what someone despises in others often mirrors what they're hiding in themselves. Shi Heng called this projection. Someone who constantly calls out arrogance might be wrestling with their own insecurities. The one obsessed with others' dishonesty? They're likely dodging a truth they can't face. We criticize what we fear admitting about ourselves. So, to read someone, don't just note what they admire, dig into what they condemn and why. Truth 3, silence speaks louder than words. Master Yi believed truth doesn't live in chatter. Language is often a shield, a way to dodge reality. A pause before an answer, a dodged topic, a rehearsed response to a deep question, those silences scream. When someone avoids vulnerability, they're showing you exactly what they fear. Truth 4, loud virtue often hides vanity. Beware the person who broadcasts their goodness, always correcting others, always preaching. Shi Yi saw this as the will to power in disguise. Morality can be a mask for superiority. The louder the virtue, the more likely something's hidden behind it. Real goodness doesn't need a spotlight. Truth 5, people don't lie to you first, they lie to themselves. This one flips everything. When someone says, I'm fine, I'm over it, or, I don't care, they're not trying to trick you. They've rehearsed those lies so long they believe them. Shi Heng saw self-deception as a defense, a way to cope with pain. So when someone's story doesn't add up, don't assume malice, they've been fooling themselves longer than they've been fooling you. Those inconsistencies? They're the truth breaking through. Truth 6, superiority often hides inferiority. Master Yi nailed this. When someone brags about their achievements or casually puts others down, they're often terrified of not being enough. Real confidence doesn't need to compete, it just exists. So when someone feels the need to dominate or prove themselves, look deeper. Behind the throne, you'll often find a scared child wearing a crown. You're starting to see it now, the masks people wear and the truths they try to hide. In part 1, we uncovered how people craft personas to survive, but here in part 2, we're going deeper into the moments where those personas crack. Shi Heng believed the self isn't fixed, it's a performance, stitched together to face the world. When that performance is challenged, the truth leaks out. Let's dive into the next 6 truths to sharpen your ability to read anyone instantly. Truth 7. Most actions are driven by unconscious fear. This is universal. Why does someone over-explain? Why do they dominate a conversation or vanish completely? Why do they say yes when they mean no? Fear. Fear of rejection, abandonment, rejection, or failure, or shame. Shi knew people rarely act from pure desire, they're driven by what they're afraid of losing. Status, love, or self-worth. To read someone, don't focus on what they claim to want. Ask, what are they scared of losing? That's where their truth hides. Truth 8. Criticism is a mirror. When someone constantly critiques others, listen closely, it's projection. The person who mocks emotional vulnerability might be terrified of their own feelings. The one who nitpicks others' appearance could be fighting a secret battle with their own reflection. Master Yi taught that judgment is rarely about the target, it's about the critic. Criticism isn't just a defense, it's a confession. Trace it back to the speaker, and you'll find their pain. So, when you hear relentless critiques, don't get distracted by the target, ask what the critic is trying to disown. Truth 9. Confidence is often guilt in disguise. You've met them, the person who seems unshakably sure, always in control, always composed. But watch closely, the tense jaw, the over-prepared answers, the defensiveness when pressed. Shi Heng saw this in leaders, teachers, or anyone performing certainty to hide their fear of exposure. Guilt, over past mistakes or a self they're trying to outrun, hides behind that polished confidence. Real peace doesn't need to perform. So when someone's too confident, don't be intimidated, be curious. What are they trying to bury? Truth 10. Exaggeration betrays the truth. This one's subtle but powerful. Once you spot it, it's unmistakable. Someone who insists, "I don't care what anyone thinks," probably cares deeply. The one claiming, "I'm always happy," likely isn't. Shi believed exaggeration is the ego drowning out doubt. Extremes, whether in words or actions, signal imbalance, not strength. When someone's statements are too absolute, don't buy the surface. Read the insecurity underneath. Exaggeration is loud, ask what it's trying to silence. Truth 11. The need for control masks inner chaos. Control, we chase it in work, relationships, routines. But for some, it's an obsession. Master Yi saw this clearly. When someone's inner world feels like a storm, they micromanage the outer world to cope. The person who plans every detail, who can't handle change, who dominates others to feel powerful, they're not strong. They're terrified that letting go will unravel everything. The stricter the shell, the more fragile the core. Instead of fearing the controlling person, see their fear, they're holding on for dear life. Truth 12. Performance hides emptiness. This hits hard in today's world. Think social media, the endless, look-at-me energy, the curated posts, the perfect lives. Shi Heng didn't see this as confidence but as desperation. When someone's constantly performing, it's because they fear they won't be seen or loved without it. They create noise, drama, or spectacle to fill a void. But those who truly know themselves don't need an audience, they're already whole. A loud performance isn't power, it's a quiet plea. You're feeling the shift now, aren't you? You walk into a room, and the patterns speak louder than words. The interrupter isn't just rude, they're scared of being forgotten. The boaster isn't arrogant, they're nursing a wound. You're not reading minds, you're reading masks, and Shi handed you the tools. This isn't just a skill, it's a responsibility. Seeing people clearly means seeing their pain, not to exploit it, but to offer grace. Want to go deeper? Let me know if you're ready for part 3, where we uncover the final truths and peel back the last layer of the human soul. By now, you're seeing people differently. You're not just hearing words, you're spotting the cracks, the fears, the masks. In parts 1 and 2, we explored how people hide and how their truths leak out. But here in part 3, we're stripping away the final layer. Shi Heng didn't just teach us to notice patterns, he showed us where they come from. These last 6 truths will help you read anyone instantly by revealing the deepest wounds driving their behavior. Let's finish what we started. Truth 13, no one speaks from logic, they speak from pain. You might think people argue with facts or make choices based on reason, but Master Yi saw through that. Every opinion, every argument, hides an emotional wound. When someone says, love is just a fantasy, they're not debating, they're shielding a heartbreak. People build their worldviews not on logic but on what hurt them. To read someone, don't ask what they believe, ask what broke them. What do they never want to feel again? Shift your focus from, why are they saying this, to, what are they protecting? Suddenly, their words aren't attacks, they're defenses. You stop reacting and start understanding. Truth 14, how someone treats weakness reveals their strength. Want to know who someone really is? Don't watch how they act around the powerful, watch how they treat those who can't fight back. Shi believed true strength shows in restraint, not domination. Someone who mocks vulnerability is often scared of their own. Someone who punishes mistakes likely grew up without room to fail. But the person who can sit with weakness without judgment, who can forgive instead of condemn, they're free from their past. They don't need to prove anything because they've won their inner battles. Give someone a chance to show compassion, and their choice will tell you everything. Truth 15, the fear of being forgotten drives attention-seeking. You know the type, always needing to be noticed, every story, outfit, or post screaming, look at me. It seems like confidence, but Shi Heng saw it for what it is. Fear of being invisible, of living without leaving a mark. The child who felt ignored grows into the adult who overcompensates. Instead of asking for love, they demand attention through drama or performance. When you see someone being too much, don't judge, ask what they fear will happen if they're not enough. Their need for the spotlight isn't vanity, it's a cry for meaning. Truth 16, attacks often hide envy. This is one of Master Yi's boldest insights. People don't always attack out of hate, sometimes it's admiration they can't admit. Criticizing someone successful or mocking someone confident is easier than facing what you've given up. Shi saw envy as unspoken desire, the soul whispering, I want that, but I don't believe I can have it. When someone tears another down, they're not just cruel, they're in pain, reminded of a part of themselves they've buried. See this in others, and you'll shrug off their hate. See it in yourself, and you'll start to break free. Truth 17, people replay their childhood, not their beliefs. You've heard, people don't change, but Shi would say they repeat. They replay the roles, fears, and dynamics they learned young. Someone who was never heard becomes the adult who never listens. Someone punished for emotions grows cold and detached. Someone who had to earn love performs for affection, even when it's toxic. They think they're acting on beliefs, but they're reliving their past. To read someone, don't just look at who they are, ask who they had to be. Their behavior is a biography, and behind every adult is a child still seeking safety. Truth 18, patterns are confessions. This final truth ties it all together. People may not say what hurts, but they show it through patterns. The person who ghosts when things get close, who overworks to avoid stillness, who flirts but never connects, these aren't random. They're saying, this is how I protect myself. This is where I was hurt. Shi taught that if you listen to patterns, not words, you'll hear the truth before it's spoken. When you do, you stop taking things personally. You stop judging. You become a mirror, not a weapon, choosing grace over power. Take a moment to reflect. These truths aren't just about others, they're about you. Your patterns, your fears, your childhood scripts. The clearer you see others, the clearer you see yourself. This isn't the end, it's the start of seeing the world anew. Shi Heng wanted us to awaken, to see that what we judge in others we carry, and what we admire we long to become. If this hit home, drop a comment. Which truth struck you the most? Let's build something real in a world of masks. And if you're ready for more, subscribe. This is just the beginning of seeing what's hidden and becoming who you are. You've just unlocked the first 18 truths from Master Shi Heng, and now you're seeing people, and yourself, in a new light. But the journey doesn't end there. Shi Heng's philosophy, rooted in Shaolin wisdom and mindfulness, offers even more insights to deepen your ability to read anyone instantly. These next 6 truths, inspired by his teachings, focus on the energy, presence, and inner patterns that shape human behavior. Let's dive into this new set to take your understanding to the next level. Truth 19: Energy speaks before words. Shi Heng teaches that every person carries an energy that arrives before they say a word. You felt it. Someone walks into a room, and you sense tension or calm without a single clue why. This isn't magic, it's their inner state radiating outward. A restless fidget, a grounded stance, or a hurried glance, these are signals of their emotional frequency. To read someone, tune into their energy first. Are they scattered or centered? Heavy or light? Their energy is a window to their soul, revealing what words might hide. Truth 20: Avoidance is a map to fear. Master emphasizes mindfulness as facing reality head-on. When someone avoids a topic, a feeling, or even eye contact, they're not just being shy, they're marking the edges of their fear. The colleague who changes the subject when you ask about their goals, the friend who laughs off a serious question, they're showing you where their vulnerability lies. Shi would say, don't chase their words, follow their avoidance. It's a compass pointing to what they're protecting, what they're not ready to face. Truth 21: The body confesses what the mind conceals. In Shaolin practice, the body and mind are one. Shi Heng reminds us that the body never lies, even when the mind tries to. A clenched fist during a calm conversation, a slouched posture in a moment of praise, or a forced smile that doesn't reach the eyes, these are truths breaking through. To read someone, watch their body as closely as their words. The tension in their shoulders, the rhythm of their breath, it's a language of honesty they can't control. Truth 22: Repetition reveals their anchor. People repeat what grounds them, consciously or not. Shi teaches that habits are not just routines, they're anchors to stability. The person who always arrives early might crave order in a chaotic world. The one who endlessly checks their phone might be seeking connection they don't feel. These patterns aren't random, they're how people steady themselves. To understand someone, notice what they repeat, it's their way of holding on to safety or escaping pain. Truth 23: Judgment betrays inner conflict. Shi Heng's philosophy centers on letting go of judgment to find peace. When someone is quick to judge, whether it's gossip, criticism, or disdain, it's a sign of their own unrest. The person who scoffs at another's ambition might feel stuck in their own path. The one who dismisses kindness as weakness might struggle to accept love. Judgment isn't about the other person, it's a mirror of the judge's unresolved battles. Look past their words to the conflict they're wrestling with inside. Truth 24: Presence reveals depth. Master teaches that true strength lies in being fully present. When someone is distracted, always rushing, interrupting, or lost in their thoughts, it's not just rudeness. It's a sign they're disconnected from the moment, perhaps from themselves. But the person who listens deeply, who holds space without needing to fill it, shows a rare depth. Their presence is a clue to their inner calm. To read someone, notice how present they are, it tells you how grounded they feel in their own skin. You're starting to see it now, aren't you? These truths build on everything you've learned, turning your gaze from masks to the energy and patterns beneath. Shi Heng's wisdom isn't just about reading others, it's about waking up to the world around you. You're not just noticing behaviors, you're seeing the human struggle, the quiet search for peace. Want to keep going? Truth 25: resistance reveals attachment. Shi Heng teaches that clinging to outcomes, whether it's approval, control, or certainty, creates inner tension. When someone resists change, snaps at feedback, or clings to a rigid opinion, they're not just stubborn. They're tethered to something they fear losing. The coworker who bristles at new ideas might be attached to their sense of competence. The friend who can't let go of a grudge might be holding on to their identity as a victim. To read someone, notice where they push back hardest. It's where their attachments live. Truth 26. Haste betrays disconnection. In Shaolin practice, rushing is a sign of an unsettled mind. Master Yi emphasizes moving with purpose, not panic. When someone's always in a hurry, cutting conversations short, multitasking, or chasing the next thing, they're not just busy. They're disconnected from the present, running from something within. Slow, deliberate action signals someone at peace with themselves. So, when you see haste, don't just see impatience, see someone searching for an anchor they haven't found. Truth 27. Laughter hides or heals. Shi believes laughter is a bridge between the heart and the world. But not all laughter is equal. A forced chuckle when the mood turns serious, a giggle that deflects vulnerability, these are masks, hiding discomfort or pain. Yet genuine laughter, the kind that flows freely and lights up a room, reveals a soul at ease. To read someone, listen to their laugh. Is it a shield, covering a wound? Or is it a spark, showing they've healed? The difference tells you everything. Truth 28. Generosity exposes intention. Shi Heng teaches that true giving comes from abundance, not obligation. When someone gives, time, help, or praise, look at why. The person who gives loudly, expecting applause, might be seeking validation. The one who gives quietly, without strings, is often grounded in their own worth. But beware the giver who keeps score, their generosity is a transaction. To understand someone, watch what they give and what they expect in return, it's a window into their heart's motives. Truth 29. Stillness uncovers strength. In Shaolin wisdom, stillness is power, not passivity. Master Yi says the ability to pause, to sit with discomfort, shows inner resilience. When someone can't be still, always talking, moving, or filling silence, they're often avoiding their own thoughts. But the person who can stand in quiet, who listens without rushing to respond, has mastered themselves. To read someone, notice their relationship with stillness. Do they embrace it or run from it? Their comfort with silence reveals their strength. Truth 30. Gratitude signals alignment. Shi teaches that gratitude isn't just politeness, it's a state of harmony with life. When someone expresses genuine gratitude, not just for big wins but for small moments, they're aligned with the present. They see the world as enough. But constant complaints or entitlement? That's a sign of disconnection, a focus on what's missing. To read someone, watch where they place their gratitude. It shows whether they're living from lack or from wholeness. You're feeling it now, aren't you? These truths are like a lens, sharpening how you see the world. The person who resists isn't just stubborn, they're holding on to something. The one who rushes isn't just busy, they're searching. Shi Heng's wisdom doesn't just help you read others, it helps you read yourself. You're not just observing, you're awakening to the flow of life.